I liked Sandra Bullock. I've liked her in a few films. And she's made some great films like Speed 2, and Channing Tatum's done Jupiter Ascending. And there's some great work behind them. So why not get those two together to make another one?
Hello and welcome to the Superpower Dad team. I'm Peter.
And I'm Rick, and today we're reviewing the 2022 film The Lost City, starring Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. I loved this movie for the first 10 minutes. I was really getting into it and enjoying it because I thought it was funny. It was a bit different. It was romancing the stone with a couple of role reversals in there, I thought. It picked me up at the start. I was like, okay, I'm in. And then it got to a point where the Brad Pitt character got shot, and then the rest of the movie flatlined.
According to the Internet Movie Database, the story is a reclusive romance novelist on a book tour with her cover model gets swept up in a kidnapping attempt that lands them both in a cutthroat jungle adventure. She gets kidnapped. Channing Tatum sees her get kidnapped, and so he decides he's going to go and rescue her because he feels guilty because they had an argument before, and he contacts his guru, Brad Pitt, to go and rescue her. And as soon as Brad Pitt pops up, I knew he was going to have a very small role because he isn't on any of the posters that I could see. His name wasn't on there. So big surprise when he gets shot.
Yeah.
I just was really bored with this. I didn't find it very interesting. I didn't find any of the characters interesting. I thought Channing Tatum was really annoying. I've seen him in other stuff. He's been all right. But this, I just found his character really annoying. They should have kept Brad Pitt. His character in the 5 minutes he was in it was much more entertaining.
Yeah. Apparently, Ryan Reynolds was the original lead that they wanted, but they couldn't negotiate anything. So Channing Tatum.
And I can see that. Like, a lot of the dialogue, it's sort of like that ad-lib sort of winky, jokey talk that nobody speaks.
It feels better than I thought it would.
I know. I thought the same thing. I was worried too because these doors are really just a metaphor for adventure.
And it's really annoying me in movies now. I think it's I'm blaming Judd Apatow because like his comedy movies, they just go off on riffs all the time.
I don't know who Doc Brown is. What are you talking about?
Doc Brown is the guy who's Christopher Lloyd. He invented the DeLorean, the time machine.
And now it's just people, anyone can do it now. Let's just riff. And it's not funny. They have screenwriters for a reason.
And you're right. When Brad Pitt came on screen,
that was the best bit in the movie. That was the only part of the movie I thought was interesting.
Like you, I thought he was going to die. Like I thought he's there. He's going to show up, be this hero, and be taken out of the movie early.
And they even ruined that, though. They even ruined that by the little end credit scene where he's not dead. I mean, that's just stupid. I was so bored in this movie that I spent most of it just looking at Sandra Bullock's face, trying to work out what work she had done. I suspect they added some jokes in later. Like there's some scenes where you see the back of characters and you hear a line. Like I'm sure it was done in ADR and they've just tried to spice it up with a joke.
Well, the movie was written for trying to get these jokes in, I think. And
the movie has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 writers.
Yeah, and it kind of shows like everyone trying to go, I want my joke in. I want this part in. I think this is really funny. They tried to cram them all in.
But there's no stakes. There's no stakes at all. When there's all this unfunny banter, and when you've got all these ad-lib jokes or throwaway lines, then that just takes away any sort of drama. Like Indiana Jones, there's humor, but it's humor from the situation. It's not people throwing away stupid lines.
Our situation has not improved.
So she's kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire played by Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. I quite like Daniel Radcliffe. I know you're not a fan, but I quite like him. I've enjoyed him in a show called Miracle Workers, and I like some of the career choices he's made. He's made some sort of quirky, smaller movies. I don't think he needs to work for money. I think he makes.
Oh no, I think he's set up.
But this was not a good role for him at all. This movie did not need a villain. He could have been the eccentric billionaire and want to explore this thing, and Sandra Bullock's character could have been interested in it. And they could have gone on an adventure together. Maybe Channing Tatum thinks, she's been kidnapped, and they make comedy out of that.
So I think Channing Tatum's character was kind of in love with Sandra Bullock's character.
Yeah.
And so to have that awkward three...
That was one good thing, that they actually had a movie where the leading man is quite a bit younger than the leading lady. That's a bit of a reversal in Hollywood movies.
You couldn't tell. Yeah, if you're going to reference Indiana Jones or Romancing the Stone, which clearly this one was based on, set up the MacGuffin being the little parchment that's going to lead you to this treasure, but there has to be other little quests that go on in between, whereas there was none of that in this. It was just kind of wandering through the jungle and there's just and stumbling on things by act that make no sense that you would stumble on them, or that this guy who has no experience with anything and this girl in a sequin dress are outrunning and outsmarting a group of
trackers and mercenaries.
It was really uneven because there was the scene where Brad Pitt dies and they're like ruthless killers, but then the whole rest of the movie's tone was a little bit goofy, a bit jokey sort of thing. So the tone was all over the place.
These type of movies are more fun when like the situations are crazy, but the characters are taking it seriously.
It's like, oh, we're here. As the audience, you sit there, I know how this is going to work. They're going to be these two opposite characters. They're going to be and put in this perilous situation. They're going to fall in love, and at the end...
she sees that he's not just a dumb model and he's got all these layers to him. And
the CGI in it, like sometimes the scenes when they're supposed to be in mountains and you can tell they're in a studio. That sort of stuff is poor. Oh, there's one highlight. There's one part. Oscar from the American Office turns up in a little bit of a small role as well. So, Pete, would you recommend this film?
No.
No, it's a turd.
Thanks for watching our review on the Superpowered Dare Die team. If you enjoy our videos, please like them, please comment on them, and please subscribe to our channel. If you click on the bell, you'll never miss an episode.